hate when this happens. You're putting a screw in a piece of wood and the threads strip out. You're turning and spinning and nothing's happening. Nothing's tightening up here. Well, there are some great solutions to this problem, and I'd like to share a few with you. The first one is unbelievably simple. It might mean just taking that screw out and replacing it with one that is slightly longer. Not larger necessarily, but just a little bit longer. Those few extra threads can make all the difference. Solution number 2 may be as close as your kitchen cupboard. If you can't use a longer screw for some reason, or let's say you don't have one, then go to your cupboard and get some toothpicks. For this hole right here, 3 ought to do it. Just place them in the hole, like that. Break off the excess. Sometimes I take an awl just to get everything started again. Now that extra wood that we've put in there in the form of toothpicks makes the hole smaller, small enough so that those threads can get a grip. Then it's just a matter of running that screw right back down in there. There we go. Now door hinge screws present a different kind of problem. They often get stripped out. That's probably because the doors are always pulling and tugging on them. But also doors are attached to a door jamb, like the one I'm holding in my hand right here. And you can see that these are not very thick. So sometimes a longer screw just doesn't make any difference. And I found oftentimes the toothpicks don't work so well either. But here is a solution that usually does work. And it involves the use of these plastic anchors. We have to drill the stripped holes out. This time though, it's important to pick a drill bit that is the same diameter as the anchor that we're about to use. And I'm going to go all the way through the hinge holes now. Now, I'm going to take a second bit. This is a countersink bit. It's a sort of cone-shaped, as you can see right here. And I'm going to actually countersink those holes that we just drilled. Just a little bit. Now, why did I do that? Because if you look at these anchors, they have a little flange or head around here. And I want to make sure that that has a place to recess so that the top of this anchor is flush again with this hinge mortise. So now, I'm just going to set these in. Just going to set these in here, like that. Push them down. Then we can take a hammer, tap these down. See how nice and flush they are? So once again, we'll just drop this hinge in place. Everything's going to align perfectly. We haven't changed the location of the holes. We've just, in a sense, put a liner in there within those plastic anchors. And that'll give us a good grip and better than new in some cases. Now for my final tip. Let's just say, for example, that you got a board like this one, and you have a lag screw that has just, the hole is so big that the screw actually goes through like this and spins around and there's no bite whatsoever. Now let's suppose you have to put this screw in that position. What do? Well, here's an idea. You're going to have to make the hole larger in order to correct the problem. So we're going to go up to almost a 3/8 inch bit here and bore this out. The idea is we want to create even more space around this lag screw. All right? Now this is auto body filler. Again, you can get this at an auto supply store, or most home improvement centers carry this as well. I'm going to put a little bit of this out here on my mixing board. There we go, just like that. We won't need very much. And then we're going to add some hardener. This comes packaged with it. This is a catalyzed product. That means that by adding the hardener to this resin, things harden up very quickly. And the more resin you put in here, the more pink I make this, the shorter the work time. All right, that's well mixed. Now what we're going to do is take some of this and force it into that hole. Remember, that's an oversized hole now that we've purposely made larger. Just keep pressing it down in there like so. Now we're going to take our lag screw, and I need to get some lubricant. Here we are, right here. And I'm going to spray some lubricant on here. This is going to act as a release agent. Now I'm going to place this down into that hole, and we're going to pack some more of this around the edge. Now what I'm doing here is I'm casting, if you will, a thread for that lag screw. Okay, we'll give that a few more minutes now to harden. Well, it's been about 3 or 4 minutes, so I'm just going to clean off the rest of this extra or excess material here along the top of the bolt like this. It'll just pop right off now. You see it's kind of rubbery. What I'm going to do is actually unscrew this. See this coming out? If you take a look up inside the hole, you'll see that we've actually cast matching threads for the lag screw. And once the resin gets fully cured, it becomes very hard and quite strong, so that we can just screw this right back in again. Well, I guess you could say that stripped out screws are an inevitable part of home improvement projects. But now you've got a whole arsenal of solutions in your tool bag. If you'd like more information on today's projects, be sure and check our website, ronhazelton.com. And join us next time for more great projects and, of course, more house calls.